What's up? It's your boy Butterfly, and today is another TBR, and we're excited because not only is it August, but it is the new moon readathon, and I was gonna make a separate video for that, but I thought maybe I should just combine all of my books for the month, knowing that I'm not gonna get through all of them. The new moon readathon starts the 13th. I don't think it's a whole week. Is it a whole week? I don't know. I know that it starts the 13th because it starts on a weekday. There are multiple groups to pick from. I picked the spider because I thought it would be the easiest for me to read, honestly. So I went with the spider because when I was looking at my books, the first thing I remembered was eight letters, 8 words, 8. So I picked the spider. There are 3 prompts and we'll go through them. I have way more than 3 books here, and I'm only gonna get through probably 3 of them, but at least hopefully 2 of them. Let's go through the books. The first prompt is something creepy, and I didn't really know what to pick for that. I feel like a few of these books could fit for that prompt, so I guess I'll show you the 2 that would fit for that prompt the most. So I was bouncing between these 2. I ended up going with The Bargain, which is a Dark Forces book, which is just like a book series, a pocketbook series. One of my favorite kind of like thriller science fiction books are those that can fit in your back pocket. So I got The Bargain from a secondhand store, Editions in Kannapolis. Highly recommend going. I got it because mainly it's a group of musicians, and basically, you know, you gotta sell your soul sometimes to make music. Fame's price tag was Eternal Fire. That is the tagline for this book, and I love it. I did read a few pages of this when I got this book, but that was back in 2021. I was not married yet, so it's been a while, okay? So dare I say it might have even been 2020, because I got married in July of 2021, and it was before I graduated, which was May of 2021. So I don't know how long it's been since I've touched this book, but I do plan, it's kind of a short read, so I think it'd be good. But I was also really debating between supernatural, like supernaturalness not necessarily is creepy, but it definitely can be. I love the book series. Canonically, they're like not technically part of the series, but they are. So like they tell you where it's placed. Like it's set during season 10 specifically is an unseen adventure, so it's not anything in the show. This one is Cold Fire. This one is about everybody thinks wild animals are attacking, but every single one of the victims is a soon-to-be father. So Sam and Dean and Castiel are all gonna be there and figure it out. So I'm excited for this one. I don't think I've actually completed a supernatural novel just because it's small font, guys. Small font. That's my downfall, is small font. So this was my other option, but I ended up not going with it. It's gonna go in another category of possibilities. Next is 8. I was debating 8 words, 8 letters in the name, in the title, in the author. I was thinking of 8 for anything, absolutely anything that 8 could be, and ended up with The Brink because it's 8 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Brink. It's actually co-written by Murray from the Practical Jokers. That's actually what made me notice this book, and it is a zombie book. Zombie outbreak, baby. So I thought it'd be great, and it's relatively short. I say short, but then look at how small these words are. They're smaller than the other small books. I literally, all I know about this is zombie outbreak in New York City. Yeah. Former New York City Mayor Tom Caffery has been haunted by the horror of that single day, the opening of the brand new Z train subway line beneath the Hudson River. Technically, they don't call them zombies, they call them creatures, but we're gonna call them zombies until I'm proven otherwise in the book. The last prompt is your own treat. So, capture something in your web. This is where I was like, maybe supernatural could be placed in there, but then I was thinking I really want to finish Snow Globe. I started Snow Globe last year, and then I got kind of sick and I couldn't pick up a book. I couldn't finish a book. So I was like, I'll read Snow Globe. But then I was like, wait a minute. I also finally found my copy of the second book. Vicious Spirits. I loved the first book. My first copy, the first book is annotated. It's got a million little tabs in it. It's got sticky notes, everything. I read it. It was a 5 out of 5. I loved it. I posted about it nonstop during the pandemic when I read the first book. So I'm like, I should read the second book. So I have these 2 books to choose from, and I guess 3 books to choose from, and it's whichever one I'm ultimately feeling that week. But Snow Globe is about a world where everything is iced over except for the dome. The dome is where all of the rich, famous people live, but are they really rich and famous? Because everything they do is filmed for everyone on the outside to see, and you have directors. That's really the only way to get in, is to be a director or get in the arts or be scouted, I guess. If you're not one of those, you have to work 24/7 to make sure everybody in your community has food, water, and is healthy. And basically, you're like little mice. You're the experiment, but you get to watch other people as an experiment, and I really loved that concept. When you're inside, the world is watching. That is the tagline for Snow Globe. Okay, I don't know how to explain Dokebi other than the first book, which the English title is Wicked Fox. The English title for this is Vicious Spirits. The first book is about a wicked fox, which has her little stone inside. She loses it and she tries to find it, and then the second book is following the aftermath of her and her stone on the outside, I guess. Her fox speed. I apologize for not remembering that. But I believe it follows the other one. Yeah, I believe it follows her friends from Wicked Fox. But I'm excited for this, and I already guarantee you I would probably annotate it because, oh, does it bounce back? Yes, it does tell the folklore through it. It is a folklore retelling, my favorite genres. That's a lot of books, but imagine 3 of those read. That's pretty good. The other 2 sections, I guess, are things I want to read for videos. Not necessarily for videos, but something I've been wanting to read, and I got them for videos, kind of. Not really, kind of. So forever ago, during the pandemic, do y'all remember when famous people got caught buying their children's admission into college? Yeah, that's when I bought these books. So I went to Five Below, found a bunch of thrillers, and was like, that's my favorite genre. Let's read some books from Five Below. My favorite books have been found at the dollar store. So I wanted to see if Five Below also had good picks. And so I picked up these, and I've never really seen anybody talking about these books. So let's go through them. We have Influence. Influence is 2 different perspectives, I believe. Yeah, it follows Fiona and Jasmine. After a video she makes oh, there's 3 people. No, there's 4 people. There's 4 people. There's 4 people. A twisty mystery set in the dangerous competitive world of influencing. That is the tagline for this book. So there are 4 people. You have Delilah Rowlands. After a viral video, everyone knows her, and getting likes is like a drug. Now she's in LA and everything's going to change. You have Jasmine Walters Diaz, who grew up in the spotlight, child star turned internet persona. She'd be canceled if people really knew who she was. Fiona Jacobs is so funny. She's always smiling. But on the inside, the girl's a hot mess. When her past gets revealed, she's embarrassed and she's afraid it will be her downfall. And then Scarlett Leah. She's a sponsorship queen with a gorgeous, famous boyfriend. The internet loves them. Are their lives as perfect as it seems? So that's a rundown. That's not exactly what it says, but that's basically what each chapter is. I don't know how the girls connect, so that will be interesting to figure out. Then you have Admission. Exactly what you think it is. It's good to be Chloe Winebringer. She has it all: money, privilege, and a ticket to the college of her dreams. Or at least she did, until the FBI came knocking on her front door, guns at the ready, and her future went up in smokes. Now her B-list celebrity mother is under arrest in a massive college admissions bribery scandal, and Chloe might be the next one facing charges. The public is furious, the headlines are brutal, and the U.S. attorney is out for blood. I love that. I should have read this when it first happened, because I could look at the news and see where they got, you know, the inspiration. I'm not saying that this book was written after that, just seeing parallels is what I mean. This is the book that I first saw, which made me look at all the other books and pick it up, which is a killer content. And as somebody who loved It Tastes Like Candy, which is a slasher and it's got social media in it, amazing, loved it. I really think this isn't a slasher, but I really think it's gonna be up in that like really good storytelling, following influencers and stuff. Okay, so 30 million followers, 1 dead body. That's the tag for this book. The 6 teenagers who make up the Lit Liar have it made: a beachfront mansion, millions of followers, stunning good looks, and sponsorship deals worth money more than they ever dreamed. They live together making videos about their perfect lives, except for it's not so perfect after one of them turns up dead in the infinity pool. When the group TikTok account starts posting cryptic messages, the police limit their investigation to the members of the house. Everyone in the Lit Lair has reasons that their lives would have been easier without Sydney Ronald, but only one of them killed her. I am really intrigued, but I also think this switches between perspectives. Yeah, it also switches through perspectives, which I like it sometimes, don't like it other times. So those are 3 books that I was like, I want to read these all in like a week, 2 weeks, but we'll see if I get to them. But I love the idea of influencers in thrillers or mysteries, suspense, stuff like that. I think that's a good topic, and I know that a lot of people hate when like TikTok and YouTube is mentioned in books, but I honestly wholeheartedly think it adds a new layer to it, especially if you're like me and you grew up on YouTube from like 13 and up, or you were on Tumblr from like 12 and up, and Facebook 10 and up. Like, if you grew up on the internet, I think it adds another layer. And I know that a lot of people are like, it's so cringy. It depends on who the author is, so give it a try every now and then. So I'm excited to give these a try and see how they are written. The last section are all Star Trek books. They're all kid Star Trek books. I wanted to read these a while back. I bought them because they're Star Trek and they were chapter books, and I read one of them that my dog absolutely destroyed, so these got put up somewhere for the anniversary a couple years ago. And I was like, you know what, it would be nice to spend just like a whole week doing Star Trek themed things. I love Star Trek. It's one of like my special interests, I guess you could say. It was a hyperfixation definitely during the pandemic. It was everywhere, everywhere. So I think the these are going to be the best gateway into reading them. I have read a few of the adult books or movie books, but I think this would be really fun. So Starfleet Academy is it, and it follows different series. So this one is Deep Space Nine. This is the first one in the series. The Star Ghost. A mystery has been a deadly warning for Jake Sisko. Then these are all Next Generation. You have number 10, Loyalties. Number 3, Survival. Number 2, Line of Fire. And number 1, Worf's First Adventure. And there's not really much to say other than it's Star Trek and it follows them when they're younger. So I think it's gonna be great. I don't think I've ever actually read any of Deep Space Nine stuff, so I think it'll be nice. Oh, well, apparently I've read 1 chapter of Deep Space Nine stuff, but other than that, I don't think I've never read any of the adult books or middle, like anything other than these books, so it'll be nice to check them out. So that's some books I wanted to read. Also, I could read these in between and not really worry about it because they are kids books. So like I could read it in a morning, or I could read it multiple days and not have to stress myself out. Just keep practicing reading, because all I'm trying to do is keep my mind working and trying to get myself from going into a slump and not being able to read, not be able to get out of bed. My whole goal is to read, be happy, but not push the limit. So that's a lot of books for this month, and I'm not gonna get to all of them. I know I'm not gonna get to all of them, so some of these may be moved into next month, but I definitely am thinking that these will be the 3 books I read for sure. But you never know. That's why I have backup books in mind, because I will be traveling for 2 weeks. And then these will be easy to pick up reads. And depending on how they're written, these could be quick reads. It really all just depends. I also will be reading the rest of the arc, which you can purchase now, of Jordan Green's book. I am currently reading that. I am currently reading Jordan Green's No Repeat Policy. I've read all of his other books and I have thoroughly enjoyed all of his other romance books. I have not read his thriller books yet, but this one is a adult romance, so it's not something I typically talk about on the channel, but it is adult romance. Months ago, a cheating ex-boyfriend left Colton, world shattered. Jaded and angry, romance becomes whatever ends up in his bed from the apps or the club with a strict no repeat policy. Then he comes into the picture. It's Halloween at the club when Colton first lays eyes on him. And it just came out this month, which is July. This is going up in August, but it's July. And so for August, I want to finish that book. I'm also going to continue to read it, even though it's July 29th, so... but... those are all the books I plan on reading and continuing to read for this month, which is a lot. But if we really look at the smaller picture, it's not that much to worry about, because we're not holding ourselves to it. We're just giving ourselves options. We're just giving ourselves options. When you look at it this way, it's way too many books. Okay? Like, look at that. That's so many books. But if you think about it, like splitting them in half, not that many, not that bad, not that bad. So I'm super excited to get back into reading. The Summerween Readathon really kickstarted my need to read, so I'm so grateful for that, and I hope that Jan's Readathon will continue to inspire me to read. So I will see you all in the future with reading, maybe not with reading. I also have been posting a lot of K-pop related videos and other vlogs, so I hope to see you around. If you are participating in the New Moon Readathon, let me know what team you are, let me know what you're reading. If you're not, still let me know what you're reading, or if you've read any of these books and you recommend them. So I am gonna go, and I will see y'all next time. Peace out, rock on, love your world, get to grow your wings, fly, touch the sky, make sure everyone knows your name. Love from my screen to yours by my little butterflies, Cameron, out.